Dak came out of yesterday and what his workload will be today?
Dak had a good work day yesterday. It was on a pitch count, threw it 40 times. Thought he looked very good. So we'll look to expand that today and put him in a lead chair. As far as reps, just to give him the opportunity to prepare to play.
So it'll be more than 40 today.
Absolutely, yes.
Any number you want to reach by the end of the week, or?
I'll give you two tomorrow. Okay, I'll give you the exact number. He was at 40 yesterday. Okay, just want to be accurate with you guys.
What kind of emotional lift did Dak give this team? Well,
I just think number one, his leadership ability, personality is top notch, off the charts. So I mean that energy definitely has been felt without a doubt. So I mean, and that's anybody that knows Dak or has been a teammate of his, understands the energy that he brings, each and every day. So that's definitely been evident.
Mike, Todd Archer of the ESPN, he asked about the emotional lift. What schematic lift does it get you when he comes back?
Well, I think just like anything in this game, I get the details of looking where the things may be tilted one way or the other, but our game plan process has been the same as it's been each and every week. This is a big challenge, frankly. Obviously, Dak, coming back from not playing for a while. It's an uncommon opponent. They're coming off of a bye week, so the expectation of unscouted looks. We got to be really conceptually sound on how we feel they're going to play against us, and just be ready for the variations that come off of these concepts that they've majored in. In the first 6 weeks. So, I mean, that's really where the focus is. So I wouldn't say there's a whole lot different from the approach schematically for the Lions as we went through the first 6 weeks.
When Aaron came back from some of his longer layoffs, like Dak's coming back, what do you look for to see, okay, they're back, like everything's fine with them?
Yeah, rhythm and timing. That's the biggest thing, and it's it's a challenge to. It's a challenge to grab that in this shorter period of time. There's no question. But I think that's why really putting a ceiling on the workload is important because Lord knows he would throw 140 yesterday if you let him. So I mean, we just got to be, we got to be smart about that and trust the medical, process that he's going through. But yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, Aaron going through it twice with him, 13 and 17. I mean, it's. In his he was out, I want to say 8 weeks, 9 weeks. So I mean that's a challenge, and especially his particular case coming back to win to get in the playoffs. So schematically you went with a full plate, and there was a little different probably approach because we're talking about December as opposed to is it October? Yeah, October. Week 7. I know that.
And Mike. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Schultz was listed as full in the walkthrough yesterday. Is he expected to be a full participant? What are his chances for Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, this big day for Dalton. I mean, just once again, he's similar to Dak. He has to just get into the rhythm and the timing of the pace of full speed activity. This is what your padded practices give you. I mean, this is as close to the football game as we can get to today. And it'll really. Gets going in the individual drills, but it really gets cranking, in the 9-on-7, and that's part of why you do it. So this will be a good day for Dalton.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. At the risk of getting you to be a little philosophical here, with it being pretty clear that Dak's.
I thought I've been very philosophical to this point.
I mean, how do you look back on this stretch of keeping the train on the rails without Dak, and how you did that, and then how do you sort of avoid complacency with, okay, Dak's back now, everything's fine?
Excellent question. And I am when you get in your 50s, you definitely become a man of reflection. So I do that, but that's really, frankly, I haven't reflected on it. I think it's just a credit to the whole team. I mean, especially what Cooper Rush was able to do, and but also I really think these things really start back in April. I mean, this is why. I'm so impressed in today's climate of the NFL, just the offseason program participation and the quality and quantity of work that we're able to do to get ready for training camp. And then you get to have a healthy training camp, which we're fortunate enough to have this year, and especially being out there in California. So I think it's all those things, they add up, and it's all part of the keeping the train on the tracks. And and then once again, I mean, I think Cooper did an outstanding job of just keeping us playing the way we wanted to play.
Jess Navarez, DallasCowboys.com. Hey, Mike, so you talk about the constant conversation between you and a player that's injured. Can you discuss the emphasis you put on the mental conditioning that comes into returning?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a complete circle, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I know we talk so much about the physical injuries because that's the reason why they're not playing, but that's clearly the last hurdle they have to get over. I mean, that's kind of the process I think we discussed last week, where, hey, is he medically cleared? That's not the final step. I mean, that's really, he's physically able to play in a game. So the mental and emotional, the time clock, the timing, all those things come into play. So that's why it's the final hurdle.
I know at the end of every week you kind of go through the game plan after practice and go, okay, let's do this or not do this week, and kind of, do you do that even more usually when a player is coming back after a prolonged layoff? I mean, you set the plan in the week, but you have to see what he does. So you have to be even more flexible to say, okay, let's not use this week. He's just not ready yet.
Yeah, I've always felt, play selection and play priorities were proactive and reactive. And I'm talking about, it's really on the front end of the game planning. I mean, that's why, when you're in a game plan meeting Monday, Kellen will go out and he'll text, Dak or Cooper and, talk about, this particular, topic on, what we just discussed in the protection meeting, Monday night. And then that happens through, because the morning we're pretty much working exclusively in pods, and then you get into the Tuesday game plan. And so, I mean, that's a common practice. And, and our quarterbacks are here on Tuesday, so, they're rolling through there. So, I mean, that's to me the proactive, component of game planning, because at the end of the day, and I made this mistake as a young play caller back in 2000, I just, there's plays that you just feel that it's the best play ever, and you just can't wait to call it. But if the quarterback doesn't have the reps and he's totally not in tune with it, then you have to, you just got to put it on the back burner and let it cook. Where, I've made a mistake of trying to call things that weren't quite ready yet. So, so those are the types of things that that we're very in tune with, and then the reactive is obviously Thursday night. Like Dak and Kellen will sit down and go through the call sheet tonight. That'll be the last thing that goes on before Dak leaves. So. And then then we just start prioritizing, and starting getting a particular flow of how we want to start the game, and that's really what Fridays are for. That's why you call it fast start, furious finish Fridays. We really focus on the beginning of the game and the end of the game. So, that's all part of our process.
Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com. Dalton Schultz is expected to come back, like you said, with the two young tight ends coming off their best game last week. Is there a way to keep their arrow moving forward and also get Dalton back in and get all three of them?
Absolutely, excellent question. I think the biggest thing is, I think if you watch us, watch us train, the way we go about it, we're always looking to train our younger players, because the growth of your backups is critical, as a part of this journey. Now, we've had younger players on offense play a lot earlier than you probably prefer, but yeah, we have to continue that process, and that's really what today's about. I mean, I touched on 9-on-7 earlier, the importance of what it is, but that's only part of it. Another part of the 9-on-7 is the development of your defensive front and the development of your run blocking unit. I'm talking about the young players. Zach Martin doesn't need 8 plays of 9-on-7. So I mean, he gets what exactly specific the look that he needs, and then there's a development component through that too. So, and that's always been our approach, and it's no different with the tight end position. And frankly, with Dalton coming off of what he's coming off of, I think the flow and the distribution of reps will work out just fine.
CD, will he be able to be a full go today, or how do you?
Yeah, I CD. He'll come in somewhere between limited and full today, but yeah, he will definitely practice today.
A couple weeks ago it was a groin, and now it's listed as a hip. Is it kind of the same thing, and now you just have a better idea?
Well, no, I mean the hip happened Thursday in practice. I mean there was a play in practice where he kind of got himself in a bad spot. So and that's why we took the precaution that we did on Friday.
Christy Scales, Cowboys Radio. The Lions defense is relying on a few rookies. Mm-hmm. And when Hutchinson came out, did y'all even look at him hard? I mean, you knew he was going to go so high. Mm-hmm. And I know his sacks are kind of clustered in that one game, but what do you see from Hutchinson?
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. We have a very high grade on him, and just the thing that jumps off the video of his play is his play style. And he's a really good fit for the way they like to play. This is part of the traditional Tony Dungy, Monty Kiffin, Rob Marinelli approach, in their defensive front. And I think he's having a heck of a year for a rookie, and definitely he has our attention. And I think he's a really good fit for how they want to play.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You can